Hello everyone, my name is Freddy Ladia Dimife and I'm from the tribe Lagos.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Esther Ubongabasi.
Now I want to walk you through something we have put together. It's called For the Love of Country.
And this is a visual expression of spoken word curated by the tribe Lagos.
In 2011 we felt the need that we needed to tell a different story about Nigeria.
Today we aim to explore the past, present and future of Nigeria.
For the Love of Country is an invitation for every young person out there to find a role in crafting a new narrative for the country.
Through storytelling and hopeful introspection.
With some amazing spoken word artists and poets.
As Nigeria turns 60, we choose to use our voice to send out a beam of prophetic words that would influence lasting change and positive transformation in the hearts of every Nigerian. So come with me on a journey. All for the love of country.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The root runs deep, the stars are the root. We ask our people, the flower is the truth, but the action is belief, and belief is the proof. The children awake, the giants asleep. The dreams go forward, the people they creep. The slave ships are gone, they're replaced by the media, and everybody's running around and they're scared of you. Awake, my people, the youth should not be afraid, because no more are there slaves. It's a different kind of trade. Do not be afraid of the raid, do not evade that with the spade. Truth is power, and power is the root. The actions that you speak, the words are your fruit. And no matter the sentence of freedom's independence, we shall continue to thirst. This is the 10th and this is the 1st. And although we have tried to fix thee, and now my giant is 60, and we're saying that we are no longer nifty, and we must not continue to be thrifty, the environment continues to pervade. Our leaders are now afraid. It's time for the youth to stand and understand you're part of the plan. The giant awakes to sleep no more. The children are no longer here for the 4. Open up your mind, see the S at your core. Remember what God has in store. It's for this time that you were made for. Arise, shine. Carry us away, captivity requires from us a song. Now how can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? How can we sing the songs of our fathers if this land we do not recognize as not? How can we speak the Father's truth to all the women and children we forgot? The giant asleep and the truth is truth. And now what is this child that we have begot? I was born in 1960, but the things of hardships have I forgot. The pyramids of the north, the black oil of the south, the people of the east, the people who don't doubt. Together we forge together, and we must begin as one, because that is the reason why we all are blackened under this good sun. We are sons of the Father. Africa runs within our veins. No matter what we have gone through, slave trade were just the pains. And now we speak together as humanity is one. The virus has locked our sinus, but our voice is not yet gone. We will overcome even this, and even this shall be the past. But what shall the people speak, and will our speech actually last? Together we shall rise, together we shall overcome. That is the reason why we speak. Truth to power is one.
February 23rd. Somewhere along the confluence of Nigeria, in the wee hours of a dusty election morning, a polling unit is preoccupied with multiple electorates waiting to exercise their constitutional rights before the sunrise can catch its breath. And in every corner, as seen in immeasurable number, the PVC, the only source of power available in a country that barely knows anything about power. And in a short while, what was anticipated as a free and fair election, before it could hit compromise, something destined to be yet another crosshatch of bruises and bullet holes. A young boy, 5'6" frame, gap tooth, nappy head, brown skin, full of vision and promise for Nigeria, put up a post on Facebook, and I quote, "Vote and not fight. Respect yourselves and stay out of trouble. God bless Nigeria." But we did not listen to him. We did not listen. The year is 2019, and a 19-year-old boy with his voting card in hand, hope in his heart and joy within is gone. His name was Daniel Usman, and Nigeria took him. But before it did, it made him feel helpless. It made him bleed. And I cannot imagine the pain and fear that engulfed Daniel as bullet after bullet tore him apart. So riddle me, Nigeria, how in that instant he was stripped of his license to breathe. Riddle me, Nigeria. And right on time, the situation became heavy. Surrounded by fingers clinged to triggers, ready to burst into a fist of fury. Stand off! Everyone has their gun out. In the name of political resistance, with just so much to resist from. All of them open fire like spitfires and hurricanes into every nook and cranny, struggling to maintain order. They shooting and everyone's ducking. Many scattered apart, running in pain and panic. They are wailing, with only a few taking cover in fear. Death stuck around the corner like a beast ready to tear with no leash. Target practice never felt so real, as bodies filled with holes likened to a pinata. And what was once a living soul is now dead. An entire polling unit soaked in red, watered by the blood of lives unjustly interrupted. And as the smoke cleared, there lay dying, gasping for a succulent taste of fresh air, the soon-to-be hero of our democracy, Daniel Usman. We did not listen. How could we hear him amidst the stampede, sending souls seeking safety scurriedly? How could we hear him amidst the riots ricochet and rifles rebound? The year is 2019, and Nigeria is the lion's den Daniel could not escape. This Nigeria will call your pain tragic and spit in your face, and I know that sometimes this Nigeria does not meet your expectations. This Nigeria does not match your hope. So, pain and hopelessness form a bitter potion inside of me, but it is not potent enough to poison those in power who could not care less. Neither is it potent enough to pull Daniel from the beyond, but it is purposeful for poetry and passionate pleas. So please, God, do not ask me why I am angry. Wouldn't you be too? He died for a country that never believed in his life, like your son. One that stood and watched his side bleed as Daniel knew he was finished, like your son. We did not esteem him like your son. We forgot his sacrifice like your son. There on the ground his body lay, light of the world by darkness slain like your son. So what was the point? When I mentioned Daniel Usman, many more like him demand to be remembered also. And though we may think this country's laundry list of mistakes make it ineligible of grace, we are quickly reminded that God died on the cross for all of us and bought us with the precious blood of the one who was sent to unite us with him. We are reminded to pray for our enemies and honor our parents, even our motherland. We are reminded to not be distracted by these distractions. We dare not take our eyes off the promise. And as we keep our eyes on the horizon, we know that we will give love to Nigeria on our knees. We will pray, lift up our hands, rise to the occasion, and take the bull by the horns, because there must be hope. And as we keep our eyes on the horizon, the year is 2019, and the 19-year-old boy is gone. But before he left, he left us this message, one of hope. And as the years go by, hope we must keep alive.
We forget what it feels like to cry. In crowded rooms, when we exchange emotions in conversations, we forget what it means to pray, a conversation. When we gather together in a congregation, we forget the power of divinity. When it rains, that the same water that pours straight from heaven creeps up from under the earth, we forget what it means for us today, that our life is not one coincidence. We coincide with purpose every single day. We forget that time doesn't stop ticking. When we wake up in the morning and worry about things like what our insecurities said to us yesterday, we forget that our ancestors were once slaves. And you wonder what exactly I'm trying to say. We hold our prayers in one hand and a weapon in the other pasted behind our backs. We expect answers to questions that our pride never allowed us the courage enough to ask. We run, sometimes faster than the blood running through our veins, then stop abruptly, leaving forward the blood still running through our veins. We hate answers, but fill our throats with questions yet again. We forget what it means to be God. 7 billion tasks every single day. We forget what it feels like to wait. When we finally get answers to the things we prayed, we forget what bricks do in building from scratch to skyscrapers. We forget that it's our responsibility to build our own communities from scratch to skyscrapers. We forget what love does. When we walk past our essence inscribed in people, we ought to boil in anger, the kind that lifts us awake from our slumber. We ought to burn down our fear. At stakes labeled, we found a new hunger. We ought to lift up our actions. From the same places we knelt down to pray, we ought to shop for change. New characters in the wardrobes of our minds again. We ought to sing love songs with our eyes, play drums of generosity and apps of helping hands. When we see people who try, we ought to rebuild the walls out of stones thrown at our identity. We were once target practice for people who fail to recognize our passion. We were once bitten down on the same grounds where we raised our children. We ought to remember to keep our light shining. But yet again, we forget this poem, and it's time to share our closing prayers again. Thank you.
Story, story.
Story.
Once upon a time.
Time.
No more story, story. Oh. Make you know they sit down, they look. It's our time. A story, story of the motherland. A melanated people looking for a plan. And so I'm praying for you every day. God's right hand to show us the way. A story, story of the motherland. A melanated people determined to stand. And so I'm praying for you every day. You stand tall and you never sway. And let me tell you about the city that I'm from, Lagos, Nigeria. Hustle hard is the theme song. See, we struggling. Style, man, shades on whistling. Trader wearing Prada, though he's never known luxury. Youth, daily dancing just to disguise the misery. The ashes in the system that gave birth to our beauty. Poet moonlight as a lawyer in the morning. Flicker on decks till you're yawning. My city never sleeps, you slip, get slept on. This is where Tony Allen Afrobeats was born. Reminiscing now, long before Olamide, make friends with a windscreen cleaner on the highway. And he recalls, sister, thank you for the other day. I said, bro, thank you for the vibe that you bring my way. I know I've been away a long time. I've been driving around the world, but you're always on my mind. The story of the motherland, a melanated people determined to stand. And so I'm praying for you every day. You stand tall and you never sway. Story. Once upon a time.
Time.
No more story. Oh. Make you know they sit down, they look. It's our time. Yeah. Ogenetega, you can call her T. After NYSC, moved to Jersey T. Started a business now, changing lives in Kaduna. Married an Imo man and they live in Ondo now. Like a mother and motherland before her, she's resilient in the face of disaster. Throws her head back and laughs, ha ha, at all the doom that they throw at her. Naja de the blood, so she knows that she's strong, but we're stronger together. We can weather any storm. 200 million speaking 250 languages, 36 states and 6 geopolitical zones. One you, one me, who can tell how great we'll be if we just gel? And young people, let me tell you this, we are majority, so we are priority. Let us stand and vote for integrity. Find your purpose and run with it. We are here on earth for such a time as this. We are here on earth for such a time as this. A story of the motherland, a melanated people looking for a plan.
And so I'm praying for you every day. God's right hand to show us the way. A story of the motherland. A melanated people determined to stand. And so I'm praying for you every day. You stand tall and you never sway.
Let's live together now.
Eziokwu in Igbo means truth, but that was not how I first heard it being used. You see, Eziokwu in Igbo can be an exclamation used to confirm truth. Eziokwu. Is it more common to second-guess truth than speak its own language? I hold two stories in my hand. Would you like to hear the one with the most drama or the one with the most truth? Someone asked me where I come from. I want to say home is a bindle of memories where laughter is found, and that I am a nationalist and more only to myself. Instead, I smile and change the subject, as though a lie is only a lie when it has touched the tongue. I want to speak for Earth, call for freedom of her body. I want the value of religion to be the people and not what we see. I want justice for the marginalized. I want to Robin Hood it from everyone else. I want power. But what is more undeserved than power? Ike in Igbo means power. I knew this even without translation. It talks very loudly, calls itself strength. If that is true, I would learn that it lives in mother stillness. The truth in a whisper is more powerful than a loud lie. But in a world of silence, the lie does not yell or scream or fight to be heard. The lie is a gunshot that never misses. This is true because violence, as I have come to know, is louder than truth. I'm going to count backwards from 10. On the count of 1, you will be awake. Focus on the sound of my voice. Let everything else disappear. 10. A breed of pioneers across the globe were formed from this land. 9. There is still so much potential where we stand than what we see on the surface. 8. We were never paralyzed. Our voices are stronger together than the sinner dressed in preacher's clothing. 7. Over 500 languages, and we are still building towers Babel cannot understand. On 6, you will start to see that 5, there are prayers left on your breath, strong enough to create a begotten son. 4, broken dreams can be picked. 3, you are stronger than you think. 2, you are stronger than you think. 1, wake up.
This is a story of a people, an effect of divinity causing a ripple. This is a testament of time, purpose, and multiple graces, of unity beyond our tribes and faces. This is us stomping the ground sturdy, beating purpose and livelihood into melody, a song for different languages and tongues, a rhythm to keep us all in bonds with one another. You are my brother. We are sons and daughters of the soil, of love, of God. So come now, let us reason together. Let's keep our eyes fixed on the horizon as we build together. Do you see the sun? It rises and sets in us all. Do you feel the song? This unfolding rhythm of grace in us all. This is a story of a people, carefully chosen to be God's people. This is a testament of creativity, wealth, and greatness, of royalty that transcends all that is behind us. This is us aging fine. We're history in the making. I promise we'll be fine. The sun will rise with healing in its wings. Of the rebirth of a nation, our mouth will sing. This is a story of a people, nappy-haired, not heartbroken, a free sheeple. This is us climbing strong. On this summit we'll be reborn, flagging the peak of the future, connecting the dots. Do you see the picture? A picturesque reality of a better Nigeria. Great lofty heights. Sounds familiar? This is a story of a people, being written by God for His people. We're coming out of this turbulence. Stay strong. God's light brings you fluorescence. You might say we are in this wilderness. From this barren land, you want an exodus. But lift up your eyes, Moses. This land is the promise. Keep your gaze on your rising. You can make Nigeria your new Zion. Thank you.
Nigeria stand up, Nigeria stand up. Join me say, yeah, we're a great nation.